Disaster Proclamation and Executive Orders. Based upon the most recent disaster proclamation and executive orders, it has been determined that a full in-person meeting is not practical nor prudent at this time. Therefore, the meeting is being conducted in a virtual conference format, and hopefully this will be the last meeting we have to do that because I think everything opens up on Friday. So with that being said, roll call, please.
Trustee Berger.
Here.
Trustee Garvey.
Here.
Trustee Zalick.
Here.
Trustee Gieser.
Here.
Trustee Fruzzoloni. Here. Trustee McCarthy.
Here.
Mayor Savarino.
Here. Please stand and face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of our May 17, 2021 Village Board meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Trustee McCarthy, seconded by Trustee Fruzzoloni. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Gieser.
Aye.
Trustee Fruzzoloni. Aye. Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
Okay. Is there a Brian Cleaver in the audience?
Mr. Mayor, would you give me a few minutes? Would you mind? Can I talk about it for a minute? Absolutely. I appreciate it.
As long as you turn the microphone on.
I will, I promise. And I think it's only fair that if I'm going to talk about Brian Cleaver, he comes up and stands next to me in front of you.
Absolutely.
So good evening, Mayor Savarino and village trustees. I'm excited to be in front of you tonight as we celebrate the promotion of Brian Cleaver to be the next commander of the Carroll Stream Police Department. Brian is in his 15th year with the department where, among other responsibilities, he has been assigned to the Patrol Division and the Traffic Unit. He was assigned to the unit in 2009 and then promoted in 2016 to become the sergeant of the unit. Brian has a file thick with commendations for exemplary performance, but he really made an indelible mark with his work as a traffic sergeant. He is responsible for a program that is not only tops in enforcement, but perhaps more importantly, rich in educating the public about traffic safety. He is responsible for the management of several traffic safety grant awards acquired by the department. In fact, last year alone, the department was awarded over $200,000 in traffic safety-related grants. He has earned awards from organizations such as Mothers Against Drunk Driving and the Alliance Against Intoxicated Motorists. A few words I have heard used to describe Brian are motivated, professional, passionate, and dependable. Most assuredly, he has earned the respect of all of those who work with him. Brian earned his undergraduate degree in Law Enforcement and Justice Administration from Western Illinois University, and he is currently in his final semester before completing his graduate degree in Traffic Safety Management from Clemson University. Carroll Stream is fortunate to have him, and I am proud to welcome him as our next commander. He is supported here tonight by many of our officers, along with our partners from the Fire District. He is also joined by his wife, Sarah, his son, Rhett, his father, Richard, and his mother and stepfather, Jolene and David Ciolino. Mayor Savarino, before you swear him in, I'd like to ask Brian's wife, Sarah, to come up and present Commander Cleaver with his badge. Take your time, nobody's watching. Mayor Savarino, please.
I know I lost my notes earlier. You must have found them. Raise your hand and repeat after me. I, Brian Cleaver. I, Brian
solemnly swear that I will support and uphold the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the ordinances of the Village of Carroll Stream,
the ordinances of the Village of Carroll Stream,
and that I will faithfully discharge to the best of my ability
that I will faithfully discharge to the best of my ability
the duties of Police Commander in the Village of Carroll Stream,
the duties of Police Commander of the Village of Carroll Stream.
dated at Carroll Stream, the 7th day of June, 2021. Congratulations, Commander.
I have this fancy pen.
Neither one of us is going to be able to.
All right. I will try to keep this very short. I am not a man of few words, as you all know, so I'll try to get us all out of here in relatively decent time. The biggest thing for me in this position of being a police officer has been to develop relationships. And nothing means more to me as a human being than the relationships that have been created through this department. I could sit up here and talk about all the great things that I've worked with people that they've done around me and the things that they've done. But I think the biggest thing that I want to do is make sure I say thank you to every single person that I possibly can. And it's impossible for me to do that today because there's so many of you here, but I'm going to try my best. So I'm going to start off with my wife, because if I forget that one, I know I'm not going to be able to go home tonight. This job is taxing for everybody. We know that, everybody that's wearing a uniform or has worn a uniform, and many of you other family members understand that. Nobody suffers more than families, specifically spouses. And my wife has been through this traffic life that I've been living for about 12 years, not being home, missing holidays. And I don't know why she stays with me, but she does. You're an amazing mother, you're an amazing wife, you've given me a beautiful son, and you're perfect in every way. So keep sticking with me, I appreciate it. I promise, hopefully, things will be a little bit more. I want to thank my parents, Dave, Jolene, and Rich, all three of you. You guys are awesome. Unwavering support from the very beginning when I had this crazy idea that I wanted to be a police officer to what I have been able to do so far, and watching our little guy to make it possible to get to the point where I am right now. So thank you guys for that. My siblings have always been super supportive. Thanks for being here. I want to thank the village administration, village management. You guys have always been supportive, not only in my role as a sergeant, but even as an officer, and overall the department in general. And that we can't do what we do without your guys' support. And some of you that have worked very closely with me in the traffic unit, and even as a patrol officer, Mary, and then Mayor Savarino, I think our relationship speaks for itself. I really appreciate everything that you guys have done. Chief Homer, thanks for taking a risk and giving me this bump. I know you've had a lot of hard decisions to make in the year that you've been here, but I think you made the right one with this one, so thank you. It's not an easy thing to do coming into the department the way that things were, and I'm definitely very grateful for that, and I hope to not disappoint you. JJ and Coop, you guys, I have to call you guys out. You guys have been had a huge impact on my career, starting off as a traffic officer and getting to where I am now. And you guys have always given me the leeway to have crazy ideas and work with them. Sometimes you had to put me on the ground and say, okay, you need to take a step back, but you guys have always been supportive of that. DC Cummings, same thing. Especially recently, you've kind of kept me grounded and kept me with a focus on the prize, so thank you for that. I could thank every single one of you guys and girls back there. I want to call out Jim Lucas because I forgot to thank him the last time I got promoted. And Jim was my FTO and really one of the guys that formed me to be who I am today, both at work but also in my personal life as well. He always made sure that I knew that family was supposed to be first, and it's true. So thank you for that. Thank you for being here. And I think that the last thing I want to do is thank the guys and girls in my traffic unit, both now and before. I've never worked with a better group of people, the most talented, hardworking, dedicated people. We work a 12-hour shift, turn around after 2 hours of sleep and come back, and they never ask why. They just kept doing it, and they just kept producing. And you guys truly are a gift to this department. And I can tell you now that the thing I'm most proud of, and it's not rank, it's not any of the awards that we've won together, it's being part of that team and being part of this team of the Carroll Stream Police Department. So I think I've said a lot of thank yous. I didn't get everybody, but I want to thank everybody for allowing me to be up here. So with that, oh, and I want to show, I think my classmates in Clemson are live streaming this, so I have to say go Tigers, and thank you for your support too. So thank you guys all very much.
We'll take just a short break to, I'm sure you all want to go celebrate.
Yes. He wants out of here.
Resolution number 3189, a resolution commending Bill Cleveland on 30 years of village service, actually 31 years, I guess, as of yesterday or today?
That's correct.
Congratulations. Whereas Bill Cleveland joined the Department of Engineering Services as Assistant Village Engineer on June 4th, 1990. And whereas Bill Cleveland has overseen many of the village's capital improvement projects involving roads, parking lots, bridges, sanitary sewers, water mains, stormwater management facilities, bike paths, and trails. And whereas Bill Cleveland has maintained Carroll Stream's infrastructure in a very good condition, extending its useful life. And whereas Bill Cleveland has also provided excellent service to developers, builders, and general public in performing timely and consistent plan reviews for private development. And whereas Bill Cleveland has been a valued and highly respected employee, receiving the Employee Performance Recognition Award in 2009 for going above and beyond the call of duty. And whereas Bill Cleveland was promoted to Director of Engineering Services on September 16, 2019, to help guide the department and village through a COVID-19 pandemic and economic hardships. And whereas Bill Cleveland has served the village with distinction for over 30 years of public service with the Department of Engineering Services. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and the Board of Trustees of the Village of Carroll Stream, on behalf of all the former, present, and elected appointed officials and residents of Carroll Stream, that under Section 1, Bill Cleveland should be recognized, commended for his outstanding services and dedication to the Village of Carroll Stream. His efforts and contributions are greatly appreciated. Section 2, Bill Cleveland is wished the very best in his future years with the village. This resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage as approval by law, passed and approved the 7th day of June, 2021. I have a motion.
I'll make the motion for resolution number 3189, absolutely commending Bill Cleveland on his years of service.
I will second.
Moved by Trustee McCarthy, seconded by Trustee Geezer. Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Geezer.
Aye.
Trustee Fruzzoloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
Bill, would you like to say a few words? I'd like you to say a few words.
Sure, well, it's kind of a hard act to follow, but I'll try and say a couple of words. You know, it's been a fun 31 years and 1 day since last Friday. You know, 31 years ago, I had a plan, a 5-year plan, and I was going to get some experience here and, you know, move on. However, you know, what they say about best laid plans, they sometimes go awry. So it's been a great 31 years here, and it's all because of the support of basically this board and previous boards and making things very smooth for the staff and the residents. and the businesses. And so it's been a really, really great experience. And I've looked elsewhere, and I've never really found a place that matches Carroll Stream. So, you know, I've got to commend everybody here for that. And I said this on my 20th anniversary about 10 years ago, you know, time flies when you're having fun, so I must be having a really good time. So with that, thanks again, everybody, and we'll keep moving on here.
I want to thank you for your service, and I want to thank you because you've done such a good job working under Jim Knutson that it was easy for us to come together as a group and the rest of the staff to appoint you to move up to his job. You earned that job that wasn't given to you, and I thank you for that because you have made Carroll Stream a better place to live and raise our families. And thank you.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Bill.
You want to say any more words? No. Hard to follow the chief, I got to tell you. The next thing on our agenda is proclamation, what do we have here? We have proclamation proclaiming June 2021 as Pride Month, and Trustee Geiser has asked if he could read that.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is a proclamation proclaiming Pride Month. Whereas our nation was founded by a set of principles that every person has been created equal, that each has rights to their life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, and that each shall be accorded the full recognition and protection of law. And whereas the Village of Carroll Stream lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, or questioning, intersex, and asexual LGBTQIA residents are a vital part of all fields and professions and contribute to a stronger community. And whereas Carroll Stream is dedicated to fostering acceptance of all its citizens and preventing discrimination and bullying based on sexual orientation and gender identity. And whereas Carroll Stream is strengthened by and thrives upon the rich diversity of ethnic, cultural, racial, gender, and sexual identities of its residents, all of which contribute to the vibrant character of our village. And whereas the month of June is traditionally recognized as Pride Month to commemorate the Stonewall riots of June of 1969, and whereas the Centers for Disease Control recognize that LGBTQIA teens are at higher risk to be the victims of violence and have increased suicide rates, and whereas it is imperative that people in our community, regardless of sexual orientation or gender identity, feel valued, safe, empowered, and supported by their peers, educators, and community leaders. Now therefore be it proclaimed that Mayor Frank Severino, Sr., and the Carroll Stream Village Board of Trustees, DuPage County, Illinois, in the exercise of its home rule powers, do hereby proclaim the month of June 2021 as Pride Month in Carroll Stream, and urge citizens to recognize the contributions made by members of the LGBTQIA community and to actively promote the principles of equality and liberty in the village. Proclaimed June 7th, 2021.
Thank you, Trustee Geiser. Tia, do we have anybody that sent anything in?
We have no electronic comments.
No electronic. We don't have any in the back? There's none? Thank you. With that, we'll move on. Is there a motion to establish a consent agenda?
So moved. Second.
Moved by Trustee Zalick, seconded by Trustee McCarthy. Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Berger.
Yes.
Trustee
Aye.
Garvey.
Sorry.
Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Geiser.
Aye.
Trustee Fruzzoloni. Aye. Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
Madam Clerk, would you please read what's on the consent agenda?
Certainly. Board and Commission reports. Plan Commission, Zoning Board of Appeals. Village of Carroll Stream, 500 North Geary Avenue zoning map amendments. Unified Development Ordinance, recommended approval 6-0 with one member absent.
Yes.
Yes. Midwest Star Group, 130 Easy Street. Special use permit for outdoor activities and operations, truck and trailer storage. Special use permit for parking lots for motor vehicles not incidental to a permitted use. Zoning code variation, fence code variations. Failed to recommend approval 4-3.
We're going to pull that off, and then I'll explain later.
That has been removed from the consent agenda. Richards Building Supply, 375 Village Drive, special use permit for outdoor activities and operations, storage of materials, special use permit for retail sales in the I District. Recommended approval, subject to conditions, 7-0.
Yes.
Yes.
Staff reports and recommendations. Leasing agreement for the AMR program contract with GovTemps USA for contract clerical services for the period of June 8th, 2021 through April 30th, 2022.
Yes.
Yes.
2021 Asphalt Rejuvenator project awarded to American Road Maintenance at the unit price submitted for a cost not to exceed $330,000 pursuant to the provisions of Section 5-8-3B and Section 5-8-14C of the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances.
Yes.
Yes.
Ordinances. Ordinance approving zoning map amendments for approximately 200 parcels as part of the implementation of the Unified Development Ordinance.
Yes.
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 That is ordinance number 2021-06-18. Ordinance approving a special use permit to allow for outdoor activities and operations in the form of the storage of materials and a special use permit for retail sales in the industrial district, Richards Building Supply, 375 Village Drive.
Yes.
Yes.
That is ordinance number 2021-06-19. Ordinance amending Chapter 6, Article 13, Section 12 of the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances, Unified Development Ordinance, and plat approval fees.
Yes.
Yes.
That is ordinance number 2021-06-20. Ordinance amending Chapter 11, Article 2 of the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances by increasing the number of Class C liquor licenses from 18 to 19 for Totra Ma Carroll Stream Incorporated, doing business as Bobby's Liquor Warehouse, located at 879 East Geneva Road.
Yes.
Off.
Off by Tom Garvey.
Okay, pulled off by trustee Garvey. Ordinance amending the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances, Chapter 11, Intoxicating Liquor, Article 2, Alcoholic Liquor Dealers, Section 11-2-7, Classifications of Licenses allowing a Class P liquor license for the sale of individual cans of beer at gas stations.
Yes.
Off.
Off by Tom Garvey.
That has been pulled off the consent agenda. Resolutions. Resolution declaring surplus property owned by the Village of Carroll Stream.
Yes.
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 That is Resolution number 3190. Resolution authorizing the execution of an intergovernmental agreement by and between the Village of Carroll Stream and the Illinois Department of Transportation for the maintenance and apportionment of energy costs for traffic control devices located on state highways within or near the Village of Carroll Stream.
Yes.
Yes.
That is Resolution number 3191. Resolution authorizing the execution of the official zoning map of the Village of Carroll Stream as part of the implementation of the Unified Development Ordinance.
Yes.
Yes.
That is Resolution number 3192. Resolution accepting a plat of vacation for LA Fitness at Carroll Stream Marketplace subdivision located at 470 East North Avenue.
Yes.
That is Resolution number 3193. Resolution accepting a public sanitary sewer easement for LA Fitness at Carroll Stream Marketplace subdivision located at 470 East North Avenue.
Yes.
Yes.
That is Resolution number 3194. Payment of bills. Regular bills, May 18th, 2021 through June 7th, 2021.
Yes.
Yes.
Addendum warrants, May 18th, 2021 through June 7th, 2021.
Yes.
Yes.
That concludes the items on the consent agenda, Mayor.
Is there a motion to put those items on the consent agenda?
So moved?
Second.
Moved by trustee McCarthy, seconded by trustee
Garvey.
Garvey. Clerk call a roll.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Giesers.
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni?
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy?
Aye.
Do we go to omnibus vote first, and then, okay. I know we got a lot to talk about here. Is there a motion to approve those items by omnibus vote?
So moved.
Second. Sorry.
Oh, moved by trustee Frusaloni, seconded by
Trustee Garvey.
trustee Garvey. Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Berger?
Aye.
Trustee Garvey?
Aye.
Trustee Zalick?
Aye.
Trustee Giesers?
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni?
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy?
Aye.
The first item that was off on the agenda, I took off. We had talked about it earlier in the day. When this went to the planning commission, apparently they didn't have all the information that they needed. There was a traffic study that was done that never made it into for whatever reason. So I'm recommending that we send this back to the planning commission to look at it again, and then they could vote again, look and see if there's a difference, and then bring it back to us and however they feel it's necessary. So is there a motion to put that back on the consent agenda?
Do we put it on the agenda or just,
it in.
No, it's,
Send it back.
Mayor, would be a motion to refer the item back to the plan commission.
Okay, motion to refer it back, okay, to the.
So
planning
moved.
commission. Moved by trustee McCarthy,
second?
seconded by trustee Berger. Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Berger?
Aye.
Trustee Garvey?
Aye.
Trustee Zalick?
Aye.
Trustee Giesers?
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni?
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy?
Aye.
Okay, and number 4, trustee Garvey.
Yeah, there's no need for discussion from my part. I just need to be able to abstain from that vote.
Oh, you just abstained from voting?
Yeah.
And what about number 5?
Number 5, I want to have a vote for the board so that we can,
We need to make a motion and vote.
Approve the first one.
To approve the first one and then vote separate for the
Is
second
there
one.
a motion to put number 21?
I make a motion to put ordinance amending chapter 11. How about number 4?
Number 4 makes it 11.
Ordinance number,
Second.
All you're doing is making a motion to approve it.
To
Right.
approve it.
Correct.
Okay,
Second.
second. Moved by trustee Frusaloni, seconded by trustee Giesers. Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Berger?
Aye.
Trustee Garvey?
abstain.
Trustee Zalick?
Aye.
Trustee Giesers?
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni?
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy?
Aye.
Number 5, we have to do the same thing?
Well, I think trustee Garvey wanted to have a discussion.
Well, if anyone has any interest in it, I just don't find that licensing the sale of individual cans of beer at gas stations, it seems to me that it's pretty obvious that buying a single can of beer in a location where all you can do is drive away with it, it kind of implies that you're going to be drinking that can of beer or a bottle of wine. So I would vote against this. I'm not going to make an emotion either way, but that's my feelings about it.
Well, I appreciate your theory, and I'm going to tell you where it came from. We were, I'm not going to say the first community to pass alcohol in a gas station, but we were near the top of the list. When we put all of this together to do this, there was not a lot of consideration put into it. We thought maybe that's how we felt the single can of beer would be a terrible thing. They would go in the car and drink it. But they can still buy them little bitty bottles of whatever, I don't even know what
The
they're
liquor,
called.
the hard
Little
liquor,
liquor,
airplane bottles.
Sure, yeah, airplane bottles and sit in a car. And also doesn't stop them from going in and buying a 6-pack of beer and sitting in the car and drinking one after another. At least a single can of beer, after we did our homework recently and we started checking, a lot of the towns around us have single can sales, and you can go into Jewel, not knocking Jewel, I shop there. You can go in there and buy 2 cans of beer if you want them, or whatever, and walk out. I can go in my car. If I was stupid enough to go in my car and drink them, I could do that. And so we really changed it. It's not something that we came up with that I just pulled out of the sky. As I make my rounds in the convenience stores in town and buy gas and buy lottery tickets, and I talk to the owners, I have one after another want to do that the single can of beers they really feel will help them. And if it'll help them in the communities around us do it, I don't see any reason for us not to do it. It's just bringing, no different than if community development brought their codes up to standard to make it as good as everybody else. That's what we did with this. So it's not with intention that they could sit in a car and drink their beer, but they could go and drink a six-pack if they want to.
But I also want to put out there that, the ordinance, we have an ordinance of open alcohol in cars and consumption, and there's even a state law that you can get a ticket. So, like I said, I understand the single beer, it's like right there, and it's looks like it's, oh, okay, I could just have a quick drink on the way home, but there's still a law against it. And whether, like you said, a single beer or a six-pack, you can't have any open alcohol in the vehicle.
And as trustee Zalick knows, being a former officer, Carroll Stream is so well-known for its enforcement. We just honored our new commander, and what did the chief say? He distinguished himself because of his traffic prowess and what he did with the traffic department. We are
Tops in the
well-known
state.
for that, exactly. So I have no qualms that we're going to keep the people who shouldn't, if they're not following the law, we'll keep them off the street.
Anyone else?
I just want to add, when we originally, this came up for conversation, we did take that into consideration, someone being able to drink and drive. And I think over time, our cautious approach was good. But now that we've had a couple of years to collect the data, we're really finding that whether you're walking into a gas station to buy alcohol or you're walking into a convenience store or grocery store, it's not really making a difference. We haven't seen a huge, spike of incidents with the police department. So we did take our time on this, but other communities have surpassed us. And now it has become, in my opinion, it's easier for people not to spend money in Carroll Stream. So it's giving our gas stations actually an unfair competitive advantage to other towns that have gas stations. So that's why I supported changing the ordinance.
Thank you. Anyone else?
When we brought this up about liquor sales in gas stations, I was actually one of the ones who pushed hard about no single sales. Over time, pretty much what everybody else said, over time, it's been proven, talking to our officers, they were never worried about it. They said it's no different than, like trustee Frusloni said, a convenience store or going into Jewel. So I softened to the point of, if it helps our businesses, I don't think there's a large risk there based on discussions with police officers and how things have went.
The discussions that you're all referring to, are you talking about in 2013? Or are you talking about more recently?
No, it would have been when we passed this.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2013.
I don't think we've had probably any discussion at all, basically on what we do at gas stations or convenience stores since then. But since then, a lot of the towns around us that didn't have alcohol and gas stations have put it in. And a lot of the 7-Elevens, the gas station part of them that didn't have alcohol, now 7-Eleven, from what I understand, forces them to put it in. Even if you don't believe that you should have alcohol, as some of our store owners did, they still had to put it in if they wanted to keep that franchise. So, that being said, anyone else? Mr. Garvey, does that make you feel any better? Or probably not, but.
Well, now that you bring up 7-Eleven, is that the impetus behind this? I mean,
Pardon me?
the argument that I saw was that it was an economic perspective.
Yes.
We want to be able to make.
Yes, that was why I was approached by two things at the same time. One was the single cans of beer. The other one is gaming. Gaming ain't here because I said no. And
Yeah.
that'll be the next, we'll have a long discussion when we get into our future plans at Carroll Stream. But as I see it right now, it doesn't belong there. We've turned down somebody that could have possibly had it. So there's no reason for a gas station to have it. Some of them don't even have enough parking to sell gas, let alone to put in 5 machines and have 5 cars parked where there's no parking spaces. So, I mean, those are the things that, by being out in the field, that we pick up, I pick up, other members of the board pick up, of what the business community really needs, so.
And the people that would be getting this class, whatever it is, Class P liquor license, there's also economic restrictions in that 20% of their sales volume has to be in liquor, right? Isn't that true?
No. There's no minimum.
The more they sell, the better it is for them, and the better it is for our police department, but I don't really believe that there's a rule. I think that they have to sell. And if that's in there,
No, the only one we have is food
It has to
at
be
a
under a
restaurant.
certain percentage. of
it's
your sales.
51% of food sales in
Right.
a restaurant.
I think it's under
but-
20%.
Oh, it has to be under 20%.
Yeah, that can't be their main sale.
Oh, in a gas station?
Right.
Right.
God, if that's all the gas they're selling, they'd shut their doors, believe me.
Yeah, their primary source of revenue should be.
Be gas.
Now, Bob, let me ask you a question. Do we have those numbers?
What numbers?
The numbers that Mr. Garvey just brought up. Trustee Garvey brought up the 20%. Do we have how many
That's
gallons
in
of
the
gas
code.
they sell? And, yeah, but I mean, how do we know if they're up to snuff? What if they're not selling that
Wouldn't
much
we be able
gasoline?
to
Then
tell
what
by the
happens?
gas tax?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, they're almost following that would be almost impossible.
Well, I mean, we have similar restrictions for restaurants,
Yes.
and I don't think we check that, but, I mean, they serve alcohol with the food, and,
I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would think with the gas tax, it would stand out very quickly that they're selling more alcohol than gas.
Pay attention, John.
especially with the price of gas these days.
Well, and the other thing, Trustee Garvey, too, that I just want to reiterate also is any establishment that sells alcohol in Carroll Stream is going to be checked by the Carroll Stream Police Department. So they will go in and do compliance checks. And gas stations are just as responsible as any other establishment that sells alcohol. They sell to minors, they can lose their liquor license. So they have to abide by the ordinances of the Village of Carroll Stream, and that means that they have to be in compliance 100% of the time.
And the police do spot checks.
Yes, they do.
And they spot check for tobacco sales, so I mean, I
Yes.
think we're right on where we need to be. I mean, so with that, Trustee Garvey, anything else?
Just one more question. The other communities that you've mentioned that have gone in this direction, what's the life cycle? How long has it been since they allowed single can
Some of them
sales?
put it in when they first let the
More
gas
than a year?
stations sell alcohol, and I don't know, I don't have those exact dates.
It wasn't just because of COVID
Did you
then?
do a period, was it,
Yeah, in 2013, when the original survey was done, a majority of the towns that were surveyed treated the gas stations the same as their other convenience stores. So if they sold single serve at the convenience store, not associated with the gas station.
Well, most gas stations are mini marts now.
Right.
I mean, they have like little mini marts.
Okay,
does that answer your
yeah, I'm done.
Okay.
All right, then I will make a motion to approve number 5 on the ordinances allowing for Class P
Single
liquor
can
license.
sales.
Yes.
And I'll second.
Moved by Trustee Frizzaloni, seconded by Trustee Zalik. Clerk, call a roll.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Garvey.
No.
Trustee Zalik.
Aye.
Okay.
Trustee Geezer.
Aye.
Trustee Frizzaloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
And just to
Order.
clarify, Mayor, that is ordinance number 2021-0622. And the previous ordinance, the fourth one on the agenda, is ordinance number 2021-06-21. I don't think I said that.
Thank you.
Okay, report officers. We get to report officers. Trustee Berger.
First of all, I would like to say that it's very nice to be sitting up here with everybody. I feel part of the team now, so it's a good sign from a pandemic standpoint, and so it's nice to be up here. I would like to congratulate Commander Cleaver. I learned a lot from him during the Citizens Police Academy just recently. His passion for what he does was very evident in that class, and really appreciated everything I learned from him, so I'd like to congratulate him. And Bill, I would like to congratulate you on your 30 years of service, and thank you for that. I know we go way back, I think, several weeks now, and it's been great working with you. So I look forward to 30 more with you. I attended, as the other trustees did, the Memorial Day service on Memorial Day. And just wanted to say what a great service that was, and just to thank everybody who participated and made that day possible. There was a gentleman sitting up in the front row that I think all of us noticed during one of the songs that was being played. He fought to stand up, and he was fighting back tears, and I think we were all kind of moved by that. And all of us wanted to go over, I think, and say something to him, but yeah, we got beat out by one of the trustees. I won't name any names, but it was a great event, and I thought that was a nice symbol just to see his reaction, and it kind of reminded you of why we recognize it every year. Would also like to wish everybody a happy Pride Month. I think the proclamation said everything. I'm not going to try to outdo that. It was well written. And then on a semi-personal note, just recently attended our oldest daughter's college graduation. She was our second college graduate during the pandemic, and both of them got jobs, so knock on wood. And it just got me thinking, you know, like, I think everybody's very aware of the pressures that were on students this year and what it took to get through the school year. You know, school's tough enough, as we probably all remember, peer pressure and the cliques and everything else, but doing it during a pandemic was certainly tough, and I think it was probably equally tough on teachers to try to keep students motivated when doing remote learning. But also, you know, as we were sitting there witnessing my daughter's graduation, and I was also thinking about my wife, who works on the administrative side of education, and I got to see firsthand and hear firsthand through several Zoom calls in the house all the work that went into just trying to run the school year, trying to keep the students safe, the teachers safe, trying to keep everything as effective as possible for the students. And I think that's just something that needs to be recognized too on the administrative side, what had to be done to get through the school year. So I was just sitting there pondering all this while I was waiting for them to get through the rest of the alphabet, since we're early in the alphabet at the graduation, so I had a lot of time to think there. And I just wanted to put that out there for everybody. And with that, that's the end of my report.
Does that mean that the kids are going to be paying for their own college? Now that they're working?
Yeah, they got the job, so, yeah.
With any luck, yeah. Thank you for the report, Trustee Berger. Trustee Garvey?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I also want to put my glasses on so I could read my notes. I want to commend and congratulate Commander Cleaver for his 15 years. We are fortunate to have him in town. And Chief, I just want to relate that I really do admire and have the greatest respect for not only him, but you and the entire staff of Carroll Stream. And I just want to make sure that that's on the record. I also want to congratulate Mr. Cleveland on your 30 years of service. I know how hard that is because I've been with one company like 25 years. And there's a lot of stresses and things that you'd rather, times you just want to pack it in. And I'm sure that that's true for all employers, but I know Carroll Stream's a good village to work for, and I appreciate your service and commitment to it. Mr. Rhodes, I want to thank you for the books that you gave me. Not sure if I'm supposed to.
Please don't read anything.
No. If there's an implication here on that the book is on ethics and liability, but I will be giving you a book report in 2 weeks. All right. Also, I wanted to mention the Memorial Day presentation at the Ferraro Center, or actually Memorial, the Village Memorial. I was really gratified at the turnout. I was really, I guess, surprised at it. And I was honored to be able to meet Mr. Lynch, who was the primary speaker, the Medal of Honor winner. I had never met a Medal of Honor winner before. So I really appreciate that. But on a personal note, I was really moved at the providence of God, at the circumstance. Some people confuse the difference between Memorial Day and Veterans Day. And Memorial Day are for the ones that passed, and shed their blood for us. And I was remembering that my dad survived World War II. And he was playing with shot down over the English Channel. And he was one of 2 survivors. And then went through a year of surgeries and rehabilitation. And then came back and had 7 kids, one of which is me. And I wouldn't be here except for the providence of God, because all those other families lost their sons and brothers in that same calamity and in the entire war. So anyway, I was reminded of that and very moved by it and grateful for those brave men and women that did what I'm not sure that I'd be capable of doing myself. So anyway, I really appreciate the VFW putting that presentation on, and that's the end of my report.
Thank you, Trustee Garvey. Trustee Zalick.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First off, thank you for that part of the report. I didn't know that about your dad, and thank him and your family for his service, because that is definitely something. I never knew that. So, second of all, I want to thank Commander Cleaver and congratulate him. I worked with him, alongside him as an officer, and when he was a sergeant, I worked underneath him, and he was always professional and served with integrity and honor, and I especially like his energy towards gaining grants, and I enjoyed coming in at 1 o'clock in the morning and making overtime and making a lot more money, so thank you, Commander Cleaver. 2, Bill, congratulations. Like I said, I was in law enforcement for 30 years when I retired, and many times thought I was going to be going somewhere else. It's always greener on the other side. Retirement is green. Retirement is green, but thank you very much for reaching your milestone and all your accomplishments. I'm also happy that the village recognized the LGBTQIA community with this proclamation, and I hope everyone realizes that every human life matters, no matter what, and we are all created equal, and we need to learn to live in harmony. Next, I attended a ribbon cutting at Grunt Style, and I see all these ribbon cuttings coming up, and I know there's a few more. And I just want to commend community development and staff on their hard work and just keeping Carroll Stream economically vibrant. So thank you very much for all your energy on attracting new business into town. Next, Joe, is this your last meeting? Oh, okay, then I'm not going to talk.
And we're
I'm gonna abstain from number 5. And 6, like I said, on my final point is, with the warm weather coming, I see on social media that some of the juveniles have a little mischievous conduct and like to maybe do little car break-ins, get some change and stuff like that. And as an officer, it was always amazing to me that people never lock their doors. And I understand Carroll Stream is a great community, but kids will be kids, and people leave laptops in plain view and just valuables, and I just never understood it. But make sure you lock your cars and hide your valuables, and don't enable them to break into your car. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Zalick. Trustee Gazer?
Thank you very much. I too, like the other trustees have said, I would like to commend Commander Cleaver. He has brought so much notoriety, positive notices to our community in the area of traffic enforcement. And as I mentioned just a few minutes ago, I have no doubt that'll continue and continue. very positively for our village and our residents and our community. So congratulations, Brian. Bill Cleveland, 30 years. How many times are we doing this? It's like, I'm glad we're finally, as COVID is starting to relax a little bit, as we're starting to be vaccinated, we're able to honor people who have served for various years within the community. Congratulations for all you do. You know, we listed a number of projects, so we're still in the middle of a big project on Schmale Road, you know, so there are things that you're actively involved with to help make the community better, the infrastructure better for businesses and residents, so thank you. Thank you for that. I was very proud to read the Pride Proclamation. I'm proud of the village and this board. This is the third year in a row we've done that, and I look forward to us doing these proclamations into the future. A lot of people might wonder why we do something like this, but it's just a small way to, you know, prove to the residents, prove to the world, to the community, that we do know you're here, we do respect you, we do honor you, and so I'm glad we were able to do that, so thank you. I too attended the Memorial Day service. It's always a very inspiring evening or afternoon. I was surprised at the turnout, but you know, traditionally we always get a very nice turnout. Didn't realize that we would get so many people this year, and I'm so glad we did. We had a terrific speaker, a terrific presentation put together by the VFW and the Park District staff, so congratulations, and thank you to them for putting this on and for sharing that day, that the residents can honor those who died serving the community. And coming up in a few weeks, or next month, I just wanted to mention, we will be doing our Thursday night concerts again. That's coming up. The first one is on the 15th, correct, of July?
Yes, we are opening up our summer concert series July 15th at Town Center. Just a reminder that we will not be having food or beverage vendors this year, so be sure to bring out your picnic basket for a lovely evening.
Thank you very much, and thank you for organizing a great series. And that's my report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Trustee Gazer. Thank you for always being there for the ribbon cuttings. It's important that we show the community and the businesses that we all care, and most of us do show up.
Many of us, you know, we can show up. Luckily, what I do, I'm able to show up during office hours, so I'm happy to do that. And I'm glad to see as many people as can.
And it's understandable for those that work and can't get there, the rest of us will be there to support the community.
And we know you'd be there if you could.
Thank you, exactly. Okay, Trustee Fruzzoloni.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. 31 years, Bill. Man, we must have hired you when you, what, 16? Just got your driver's license? Yes. Well, congratulations and thank you. It is, like Trustee Gazer said, it is so great to be honoring our staff again with being able to celebrate the milestones and looking forward to being able to do more coming up. But congratulations, Bill, and thank you for always having an answer that makes sense and explaining it to us in a way that you tell it to us in layman's terms and not technical terms. And I've always appreciated that, because there's a lot of times that a lot of the information you give us is in technical speak, and you have a great way of translating it for us. So I just want to say thank you for that. Commander Cleaver. I can't say enough how proud I am of Brian Cleaver. Brian and I have a very unique friendship. It did not start out as a friendship many years ago. Over a disagreement of opinions, and through time, and I really believe through a lot of the events that the police department would work with me at the Park District, our relationship has grown into a remarkable friendship. I remember when Brian was thinking about taking the sergeant's exam and questioning whether he was going to be able to pass the test. And I just looked at him and said, you're going to be commander, maybe even deputy chief one day. And he laughed at me and he said, I'm not even going to pass this exam. Well, not only did he pass the exam, he was number 1 on the list. So he got the highest score on the exam. And that's just who Brian is. Brian sets his mind to something and he does it. So I think he is going to be an excellent addition to our command staff. And truly, thank you for everything that you've done, Brian. I really know that we've got another 10 or 15 great years out of him, and we haven't seen the best. I know he still has a lot more to surprise us with. Congratulations to our 2021 grads. As Trustee Berger said, this has been a very unique year for students and for teachers, so congratulations, whether you were celebrating a kindergarten graduation or elementary school, high school, college. What a remarkable year, and what remarkable life skills that these young people have had to learn very, very quickly. So congratulations and best of luck as you move on to the next phase of your life. Trustee Zalick was talking about some mischievous juveniles that have been breaking into cars. I'm going to take the devil's advocate side on this and say that residents should be able to forget to lock their cars every once in a while and not live in fear of their cars being broken into. And I think what it comes down to is people don't realize the police can't be everywhere. We don't have police on every street corner, when these things are happening. What I would recommend is that our residents be vigilant. You know your neighbors. You know what cars belong on your street, whose car belongs to who. You know if someone's walking around at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and you don't recognize them, they probably don't live in your neighborhood. But the Carroll Stream Police have a way that if you've got a Ring doorbell or Ring cameras, you can actually register with the Carroll Stream Police Department. And if something happens in your neighborhood, the police may contact you and say, we have that you're registered with a Ring doorbell. Is it okay if we see the footage? And that's actually been exceptionally helpful to the police over the last couple of months, and actually the last about year, almost year and a half since starting the program. It's very fast and easy. Information is on the police department's Facebook page. I registered my cameras. I think it took me like 3 minutes to do, honestly. But if it's going to help my neighbors feel that peace of mind, then I think that's great. I will say, though, that, look out for your neighbors. My husband and I were out for a walk the other night and noticed that one of our neighbor down the street, their car trunk was accidentally left open. We rang the doorbell and said, hey, you might want to close your trunk just in case, because that is definitely something that if someone wanted to get into that car would make it very easy. So look out for your neighbors. Don't be afraid to call 911 if you see something that doesn't look quite right in your neighborhood. And then lastly, you guys, several of you have brought up the ribbon cuttings, and this is probably the most ribbon cuttings in a short amount of time that we have had, which is it's an awesome, awesome thing to see. Driving through other towns, my husband and I were in Schaumburg yesterday, and it really struck me how lucky Carroll Stream has been. As horrible as the pandemic was, and as difficult as it was for our businesses, our residents really rallied around our small businesses, especially our restaurants, and we aren't like other towns suffering with a lot of empty storefronts or a lot of empty restaurants. So I think that really speaks to how we jumped in and did anything we could to help our small businesses, whether it was helping with their business license fees or liquor license fees, whatever it was, getting the word out to residents to please support them. Sharing Facebook posts, I think, was probably one of the biggest things that we as a board were able to do to get the word out to help our businesses. So I just want to commend our staff, the board, and our residents for really helping Carroll Stream survive a pandemic that we never expected, but also to help our businesses stay open so that we can continue to have these really important ribbon cuttings. And with that, I will end my report.
Thank you, Trustee Frizzoloni. Trustee McCarthy.
First off, Commander Cleaver, congratulations. Just a perfect fit, and talk about an admin staff. You've got it set now, Chief. You've done a few little add-ons, with promotions and stuff, and that's a great staff, along with the rest of of course, the department. But I have complete confidence that we'll do nothing but get even better with who's in place. So congratulations both to you and to Commander Cleaver. Bill Cleveland, again, congratulations. 31 years is a long time anyway, and you constantly prove your worth. And we are lucky to have you. So not only congratulations, but thank you. The Memorial Day ceremony it was outstanding. The amount of people who came out and honored those who've made the ultimate sacrifice was pretty impressive, considering we're still at the tail end of people being, not wanting to get out too much. The Medal of Honor speaker, he was wonderful. And as Trustee Berger said, the gentleman in the front row, it made me proud and broke my heart at the same time. Watching him struggle to get up, but he was going to get up, and he was going to get up by himself. And it was just, and the tears in his eyes during the song that was the heartbreaking part. But it was a wonderful event, and people got the opportunity to get out and show a little honor to those who've let us be able to do what we do, to give us the freedoms that we have. Sorry I haven't been at many of the ribbon cuttings between work, a little project at home that I took on, and then these two little 2-month-olds are keeping us kind of busy too. I'll try to make a few of them as they come forward coming up, but I appreciate how many people have been showing up and showing support to our new businesses, because I think it's very important. They need to know we're in their corner too, and not just by saying it, but by being out there and congratulating them and welcoming them in. Besides that, this summer, you're going to see kids bouncing all over the place now that they get to be outside. We're going to have to slow down. We're going to have to pay a lot more attention when we're driving down, especially the side streets and near parks. They're going to be so wired and so happy to be out playing with their friends. They're not even going to pay attention that they're running across the street. So we need to keep our eyes and ears open, watch for the kids on the bikes or the kids chasing the ball or chasing the dog or whatever, and just let's make sure they stay safe as they finally get out and get a breath of fresh air. And with that, that's the end of my report.
Thank you, Trustee McCarthy. Madam Clerk, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Thank you, Mayor Severino. Yes, I want to also congratulate Bill Cleveland on his 31 years of service, and I've just found Bill to be so wonderful to work with. He is proactive in reaching out to the Wayne Township for the unincorporated sections to work together for intergovernmental agreements to help make the roads better for all of us, for the whole community. So it's just been a real pleasure to work with Bill. And also congratulations to Commander Cleaver. Like you, Trustee Berger, my daughter and I did the Citizens Police Academy, and he was one of the best teachers. So personable and just a complete asset for Carroll Stream. Also, just wanted to mention that we had our first in-person Municipal Clerks of DuPage County meeting last week, and it was the first time I got the pleasure of meeting all these different clerks and deputy clerks in all of DuPage County from many different towns. It was just a really great experience to be together in person for the first time, and just to see what a great network of support that we have. I get emails all the time from various clerks. Everyone's trying to learn from each other for best practices. So, I was accompanied by my deputy clerk, Sherry Craig, who was awesome, and it was just a really great experience, and I feel like I've got a lot of depth of experience to lean on for when I have questions for my duties. So that was wonderful. Also, Memorial Day service, same thing. It was just such an amazing experience to be surrounded by so many people in Carroll Stream coming together to honor our fallen. It was just a very moving experience, and I'm just so proud of Carroll Stream for putting on such an event as that. Also wanted to say happy Pride Month. Again, I can't really expand too much on what was written in the proclamation. It's very good, and like Trustee Geezer said, I'm really proud that Carroll Stream makes such a proclamation to show that we are a diverse community and we respect each other because we're all equal. So that was wonderful. And lastly, don't forget to shop Carroll Stream. And that concludes my report.
Very good. Tia, do you have anything you'd like to cover?
No, I think we're solid. Just looking forward to seeing everyone for the summer concerts beginning July 15th. And thank you to all of our sponsors. We could not have this summer concert series without you.
Very good. Thank you. Mr. Muller.
Thank you,
Wait
Mr.
a
Mayor.
second. What, I do the attorney next, right?
Okay, yep.
Almost forgot. No, don't take that bad, please. Mr. Rhodes, our village attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a couple of things. First, I would also like to offer my congratulations to Bill and also to Commander Cleaver. Wonderful selection with Commander Cleaver, and the transition from Jim Knutson to Bill Cleveland has been absolutely seamless. And Bill's a wonderful person to work with. The Illinois legislature finally ended its session. Some interesting things did happen. I think one of the things that we can all be really proud of is the fact that there were no cuts in the local government distributive fund this year. And I think that's really due to all of the people who sent their letters and their emails to our legislators and to the governors. And I think they actually listened to the voters this time. And it's wonderful to see that the local governments won't be taking a hit this year, and hopefully that will continue. A couple of other things that happened, I think, just to point out, there were 115 bills that were introduced that in some way or another preempted municipal control, local control. And luckily, most of those did not make it out of committee, or if they did make it out of committee, they weren't called for a vote or the vote failed, and to pass one or the other houses. So I think that's important to note, that we continue in local government to be assaulted by bills that are introduced sometimes seemingly without any real idea of why they're being put forward, other than someone has some idea that they think is necessary. And it's good to see that most of those did not pass. A criminal justice reform trailer bill finally passed. And while it didn't do everything that we all know should have been done, there were a number of clarifications that were made that are going to at least assist our police departments across the state with dealing with criminal justice reform. The small wireless legislation was extended for another 3-year period, but along with that extension, we were able to get some additional authorizations for municipalities. So there is a little bit that was given to municipalities, even though they extended the bill for another 3 years. So those are just kind of some of the things that I thought might be of interest to the board. Obviously, there are other things that are going to be coming forward. There's a lead in the pipes legislation that was passed and is waiting for the governor's signature, and will mean that municipalities are going to have to start dealing with issues of lead pipes in their water systems and how they're going to deal with that. Although it's interesting to see that the legislature actually did include in the bill some grant money or at least promised some grant money in coming years to assist with that. So there are a number of other items that are out there that municipalities are going to have to deal with. But I think all in all, it was a pretty reasonable session for municipalities this year. And that ends my report.
Thank you, Mr. Rhodes. Thank God for the trailer bill, although it could have been a lot better, but it could have been a lot worse also.
Exactly.
Mr. Meller, village manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a couple of operational items of note in the coming weeks. Village is very much interested in thoughts and opinions of our residents, how they feel about how we provide local government services, and how we're protecting the interests of our residents. To that end, a select number of residents will be receiving a community survey mailer beginning this Friday, June 11th, and that'll be followed up by additional mailings on June 18th and June 25th. So if you happen to get one of those surveys, we encourage you to please provide the information that's being requested in the survey. That'll allow us to make any adjustments in the services we provide to you as a resident. And you can also say some nice things about us if we're doing good things. So, also, as we're experiencing a drought in the area, we haven't had any rain of measurable quantity. We did have some nuisance moisture today, just enough to dampen the roads. But as a member of the DuPage Water Commission, Carroll Stream has an odd, even watering schedule, so please remember to only water your lawns if you need to do so. Otherwise, let it go dormant. On odd days, if your street number ends in an odd number, and even days if your street number ends on an even day. Also, I know there are many employers looking for workers as the pandemic subsides. A recent article in the Daily Herald talked about one Carroll Stream employer, and I know there's many others out there looking for employees. The manufacturer FIC America has about 30 production jobs available from forklift drivers to machine operators. FIC makes parts for the auto industry, and according to the article, they pay 90% of health insurance and offers a 401k match and other perks. If you're interested, contact the recruiter, Susan Humphrey, or visit their website for more information. As I said, there's many more employers in Carroll Stream that are looking for employees. And then with the announcement of the new COVID-19 guidelines, Governor Pritzker announced that those who are fully vaccinated may choose to forego masks in most situations. For those wishing to conduct in-person business with the village, we have changed our requirements for mask wearing to conform with CDC and the governor's guidelines. We have posted new signs on the entrances to the municipal center stating that masks are still required for unvaccinated individuals. However, mask wearing is optional for those fully vaccinated, or if you're fully vaccinated, you may still choose to wear a mask. It's optional. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. Brian Cleaver, well-deserved. The chief got a phone call, he had to leave. I am so impressed with our chief. I walked through the police department last week. The morale in the police department is higher than I have ever seen it in 20 years that I've been sitting up here. I have never seen the camaraderie that we have. They just love working with each other.
In 25 years, I mean, I've been working
So
in
you
the
can
department,
go-
and I haven't seen it this good ever.
So
Since
thank you.
93.
Thank you for saying that. I mean, I felt it when I walked through. I can just, and the atmosphere was just different than it's ever been before. And I think it's his leadership. When I heard tonight, we've seen a lot of people, a lot of promotions. I have never seen anybody go through, unless I'm forgetting something, that read everything off that he did. And I've been at a lot of the presentations with Mothers Against Drunk Drivings and Alliance, whatever. They asked me to come, I go. I'm the only mayor in the room. There could be 500 people in the room. Everybody from the state police to sheriff's departments there. I'm not there for any reason other than, I'm not taking pictures. I ain't going on stage. I'm there to support our police department. And that's the only reason that I go, because I'm very proud, as all of us are, of what their performance is. So for Brian Cleaver to get promoted was phenomenal. We've had some promotions that have been great. Our police department just, it's amazing that they just keep getting better and better. You know, usually that doesn't happen, but 25 years, have you ever seen it like this?
People have come up and without me soliciting, hey, how's the new chief? Because I have still a lot of friends in that department, and I don't even ask. And they come to me and tell me what a great job he's doing, and morale of the police department is high, very high.
I've never seen it this good before, and that's good because
Think about going back.
the better, better way, yeah. You miss it that much?
No.
Okay, thanks. You paid your dues. Thank you for your 25 years, too. So for Brian Cleaver, well-deserved, congratulations. Bill Cleveland, I can't say enough about you. I've worked with you for over 20 years. I mean, you're terrific. You always were in the shadow of your predecessor, and I know how good you were. We all knew how good you were. That decision was easy to make when he left, is to offer you the job, and I'm glad you took it, because you proved that we were right. You did the job, and you've done the job well. I hope you stay another 30 years, if you, well, maybe not quite 30, at least a couple more, so that would be good. But thank you for all the time that you put in. You know, I guess you could see that tonight, there's a difference on our board than what we've had before. We have 2 new board members, differences of opinion, and probably the method to my madness was to get that in here, which we needed, some differences of opinion. We don't all think alike. We don't all want to be on the same page, but we want to all come together at the end to make it the right thing for the people of Carroll Stream. That's been the goal since I've been on the board for, I don't even, 22 years, 6 years as a trustee, and we've sat up here with some of us for 14 years together. I mean, the goal is to
19.
make the, how long?
19.
19? God bless you. You put up with me longer than my wife. I don't know how she puts up with me sometimes. The pressure gets sometimes overwhelming, but we get through it all. All of us have our problems. But I want to thank the staff, because the staff puts us in the right direction. Nothing is done by just let's throw a dart. They talk about it, they plan it, they organize it, and then you can control it. Plan, organize, and control. Learned that a long time ago. And I want to thank you. And then if we have any questions about that, we could pick up the phone and question them. If we want to, we could pick up the phone and call the attorney and ask the attorney a question. There's nobody holding anybody back. You have a finance question, you call the finance guy. You have a IT question, you call the IT guy. You have a public works, call Phil. I mean, I like that. I like the openness that we have. And because some of us don't drink, or we don't smoke, or because we don't like certain things, we have our opinions, but when it's all said and done, it isn't about us. It's about the people that are in this town. It's about the 40,000 people that live here. And it's about the 20 million square feet of industrial space. You mentioned FIC America. Where did the most of the volunteers come from for the stream sweep? FIC America, NTA Bearing. I mean, I can keep going. I was amazed how many people. I look at it different. I signed 170 thank you letters, hand signed, not stamped, hand signed, because I want to see who those people were. And it's amazing how many of them don't even live in this community, but they work in the community, and they came to clean and work to clean all the streams and ponds that we did. That's important. But they do it because they love the community. The people that are here, the ribbon cuttings are that's no surprise. I mean, that's, yeah, there's a lot of them. Community development, they never stop. And as long as I'm up here, I'll never stop. I love bringing in new business if we could. We got to start looking at what we do, where we spend our money, and how we shop. I mean, now we got grunt style. I always said, you can't buy clothes in this town. Well, some of the stuff I seen in there, I don't know if you want to wear it to church, but God bless. I mean, but it was interesting. We had a lot of fun with them. I'm glad they opened a store. It'll help us with sales tax. We've got a new grocery store. I'm not going to say you should stop at Jets over Aldi's or over Jewel, but we have grocery stores. We need to shop at all of them. Don't go into another town and buy your groceries if you could help it. Buy your gas in our town. That helps us. And if you're listening out there, I mean, the television world, I guess, is the internet, the electronic highway. The more money you spend in this town, and Julia said it, shop Carroll Stream. Now it's more important than ever to shop Carroll Stream. I mean, we have grocery stores. We have the new grocery store. I mean, I've had people say to me, oh, it's about time they go in there. Are you shopping there? That's the question. I mean, and I love Jewel. I like going to Jets. I go into Aldi's once in a while. I mean, but I won't cross Geneva Road and go to the Jewel in Wheaton. Not going to do it. Even if it's convenient for me, I won't do it. Not that I dislike Jewel, I'd rather spend my money at Jewel here. I'd rather buy, if I buy alcohol, it's not for me, but if I buy alcohol, it'll be done at Walgreens, or it'll be done at Jewel, it'll be done at Osco, whatever. I'm not going to Benny's to buy my, nothing against Benny's. I just like to support my town, our people, our money. And that makes everybody's life a lot easier. And if you feel like I'm on a soapbox, it's because I hear a lot of people say, oh, I went to Benny's, I spent $500. You should have spent $200 of that at least at Jewel or Osco or someplace in town. We got all these liquor stores. I mean, I see people go in there. I mean, it's important that they spend their money in our community. It's our community. And it becomes our money to spend back in our community to keep the roads the way they are and to keep everything going. You know, it's like anything. You don't put gas in your car, it's going to stop running. We don't keep putting money in the bank, we have to take things away, and we don't want to ever do that. You mentioned that they didn't take any of our LGDF money. Well, I could tell you, a lot of us were on the phone to a lot of people that we know in Springfield, and we put a lot of pressure on them. We finally figured it out, that if enough of us get together as mayors, and we could put together 5 or 6 towns with 150, 200,000 people, somebody got to listen to what we want to do, or what we could do if our people follow our lead. And that's not a threat to anybody, it's a promise to somebody. They have to start worrying about us, not just about themselves, because getting reelected isn't what it's all about. It's what you do for the people while you're in there. Some of them forgot that. And it's become about themselves. So finally, maybe there come to some happy medium in Springfield, and they're not going to continue to choke us to death. Because it's easy for them to do what they do, to take our money away, and then they squander the money that they took away. And I would say that in front of any senator or rep from Springfield, including the governor, face to face, because that's how I feel. They have to leave us alone and let us do our thing. If they left us alone and we did our own thing, we've proved what we could do. Many towns have proved what they could do. But grabbing us by the throat and choking us isn't helping us at all. They take our money and then they squander it. So with that being said, congratulations on them 2 beautiful babies. You know, you'll be baptizing them, and that's a great honor to have that. Community development, I know you're back there. Tom, thank you for all that you've been doing. I know how important it is to work with some of these small businesses. Hopefully, when we get to our next planning session, the way we get together and we start looking at the future, there's going to be a lot of ideas, I think, that are going to come from our new board members. I'm looking forward to that, to find some base of income maybe that is different than what we have, maybe to bring more money into the community. The more money we bring in, the less we have to have in property tax.
It's not going to be barbershops with them, too.
No barbershops. That was a shot. That's okay. So with that said, I don't know. The memorial to me means something probably, I was never in the military, but I know how hard we worked to raise that $230,000. I got to tell you, I mean, everybody goes, oh, it's so beautiful. If the sweat that was put in that, the fundraisers that were put in there, I watched kids put in 25 cents and 50 cents and $1 with the American Legion guys sitting there with a can taking money. That was a community project that was absolutely unreal, and a lot of us worked really hard to raise money. Thank God some of us got friends, and some of the businesses in town came through with some good-sized checks. But the 170,000 went to 180,000, went to 190, went to 200, 210, it was like, we can't raise that kind of money. This is Carroll Stream. We're a faith-based blue-collar community. We don't have that kind of money. We had the 230. It was like, now we're calling all of us are calling everything we could to everybody to make sure we can get that done. And when we go out there, maybe that's why we feel the way we do, because we feel like we really help put it together for the people that deserves it the most. The people that gave their lives for this country. And those that serve, that didn't give their lives, that come and sit there. And I'll go out there some days and I'll just park walk around a little bit and always see somebody out there, veterans sitting there maybe with their grandkids in the summertime, makes me feel good. We did the right thing for the right people. So with that, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee McCarthy, seconded by trustee Frusaloni. Clerk call the roll.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Giesers.
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.